All right, your lab notebook should be open to your ACT prep section. This is the second part to our ACT prep part of the course. And just a reminder, when you are a junior, you're going to be taking one free ACT. So all the things that I'm doing with you now, along with all your other classes, are going to help prepare you for that test that you take, which will then hopefully pay off with money for college. So if you would, go ahead and flip to the chart that you have already put together. And the chart looks like this. We had 3 columns. We had type of passage, how to identify that passage, and strategies for that passage. And the 3 types of passages we have are data representation, research summaries, and conflicting viewpoints. Now, there are 7 passages in the ACT section, and what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to identify those passages. If you can identify it as a data representation type of passage, then there are specific strategies associated with that, and that will help you because it is a timed test, and there's a lot of test-taking strategy that can help. So your goal today is going to be to fill out the how to identify column on this chart. The substitute can stop the video, pause it while you're writing if necessary. So again, knowing the format is half the battle. Data representations, research summaries, and conflicting viewpoints are the 3 types of passages. And if you end up with a data representation, there's something that really identifies it, and that is anytime you see data tables, if you see charts, if you see graphs, that is your first indicator that it is a data representation question. And in that question, essentially what you're going to be doing is identifying trends and interpreting data. So being able to find patterns in data is a big part of this. So again, you can identify it with data tables, charts, and graphs. If you see that, you know it's a data representation question. The second type of passage is going to be a research summary passage. Now, a good way to identify it is if you see words like experiment 1, experiment 2, experiment 3. That's always a good red flag to know that it is going to be a research summary kind of question. Now, this kind of question is going to emphasize experimental design, and it's going to ask that you demonstrate your understanding of how experiments work and the parts of an experiment. And so again, you can identify those if you see the words experiment 1, experiment 2, experiment 3. The last type of passage that you would see would be a conflicting viewpoints passage. Often what you would see on this is you would see hypothesis 1 or hypothesis 2. You may see scientist 1, scientist 2, because they have 2 conflicting viewpoints. At this point, these types of passages are going to ask you to compare different hypotheses. It also is going to ask you to have a thorough understanding of experimental design. There's only one of these, and of all the types of passages, these are probably the most difficult of the passages. But again, we're going to go through some strategies to help you with that. So again, identifying the type of question, you're going to get some practice doing that today, and you're going to be working in pairs. And when you work in pairs, you're going to be given a booklet, and inside that booklet is going to be 15 or 16 different sample questions. You're also going to be given an answer sheet. And what you're going to be doing is going through the sample test question booklet, and you're going to identify each passage as a data representation, a research summary, or a conflicting viewpoints. And just mark it on your answer sheet. Please do not mark in the booklet at all. The sample test questions, don't write in it at all. Please only write on your answer sheet. When everybody is finished, then the substitute is going to have a slide they're going to put up, and you're going to check your answers with the QR code. So the pink, obviously, if you are the pink booklet, you will only be checking it with the pink answer code. And again, please do not write in these booklets. Simply look at the question, talk about it in your team, decide what type of passage it is. Now, a couple other reminders hopefully you're doing. You all have bookmarked the question of the day. Hopefully you're looking at it every single day. You bookmark that on your iPad, and part of being successful on the ACT is knowing what questions look like. So if you have not been looking at the question of the day, do so. And then the next time we do ACT prep, we're actually going to get into the test taking strategies for each type of passage. But today, the goal is going to be, can you identify those passages based on the criteria we've already established?